The Editors Guild of India has urged the government to expunge the draft amendment to the IT rules which asks social media companies to take down news articles that have been deemed fake by the Press Information Bureau, that's the PIB. It said that already multiple laws exist to deal with content that is found to be factually incorrect. The letter says the Guild urges the ministry to expunge this new amendment and to initiate meaningful consultations with press bodies, media organizations and other stakeholders on the regulatory framework for digital media so as not to undermine press freedom. This statement that was issued by the Editors Guild of India said, it goes on to say, at the outset, determination of fake news cannot be in the sole hands of the government and will result in censorship of the press, voicing deep concern over the draft amendment to the IT rules. Well, to talk more about this, we're joined by N.S. Napinai, advocate of the Supreme Court, and Shahid Siddiqui, a senior journalist. Shahid Siddiqui, first to you, your concerns about these are draft rules right now. The Editors Guild has spoken, but if you could elaborate more on the concerns that have been raised.
You see, any government, most governments regard any criticism of the government or its policies or its actions as wrong, as misguided, and now they can call it fake. So who decides what is fake and what is not fake? If the PIB is going to decide what is fake, I'm afraid that they will be looking at any criticism of the government, any news regarding the working of the government, and it may be termed as fake, which I think is unacceptable. It will lead to censorship. It will lead to unilateral decisions of a few officers of the PIB, which I think is not in the interest of a free press and free news. Fake news is a major issue, no doubt, but the government cannot decide what is fake and what is not. So I don't think this is the right approach. Is it going to resolve? It's going to create more problems than resolve the problem of fake news.
Right, as you said, it is a huge problem in this day and age, especially fake news online and, morphed pictures, etc. So this is, why would you suppose that the PIB would only crack down on government criticism and not deal with this issue at hand of fake news that seems to be, emanating from everywhere online?
Because the laws exist. If the government had wanted, it could have dealt with the fake news and hate news, which has been very, very common, which has been going on for last so many years. But it has done nothing about it. Mainly, they have come down heavily on any news or any comment which is critical of the government, of the chief ministers, prime ministers. This will be misused heavily. Because any government, I'm not talking only about this government or Modi government, any government in any country, even in democratic countries, uses its official organs to muzzle the criticism of the government. So it will not be there to fight fake news as such. It will be there to muzzle the press. It will be used as such, as has been our experience in the past.
All right, N.S. Napinai, I'd like to get you in here. These are draft rules right now. The Editors Guild has, protested and asked that this amendment be dropped. And the worry here is that PIB will then have these sweeping powers and there'll be no sort of redressal. They'll have these sweeping powers to shut down what they deem fake news.
Yes.
I'm totally with you when you said there is no reason for us to jump the gun to assume that it would be abused. Having said that, I have a fundamental problem with this proposal, which is that whenever you are empowering a government agency in any manner for taking any kind of action, it has to be tempered with checks and balances. So in general, such kind of provisions will therefore find a place in Parliament enacted law, because democracy means you will rule through Parliament, not through the executive. The executive is supposed to only implement. I'm sorry to get so technical, but this goes to the root of our very being as a democracy.
No, definitely. We need you to get technical and, explain to viewers. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for that. So, whenever you're empowering a government agency, the reason why it has to be through a Parliament enacted law is that the representatives elected are going to decide who and to what extent they will have certain powers. And that is supposed to be done after proper debate and checking to make sure that it will not be abused. Now, here is a situation where you're empowering under rules. The rules are only supposed to be implementation machinery which will set out procedure, whereas now you're giving substantive powers under the rules. And then where are you going to list out the checks and balances then? Because you've already reached layer 2. So when you don't have the checks and balances listed, when you have not laid down the procedure, and that is what Maneka Gandhi said, the judgment, I mean, not the person. From Maneka Gandhi's judgment till date in the Puttaswamy judgment, we've been repeatedly hearing the Supreme Court laying down that procedure. Law has to be through a legitimate Parliament enacted law for a legitimate state.
And I just like to get you in on the Editors Guild.
It has to have reasonable restrictions and not excessive use.
And briefly, Editors Guild has also said there are other laws that already deal with these issues.
Yes.
If you could explain that.
See, there are many laws which deal with it, including the existing intermediary guidelines itself. If you look at the addition, it is made in the provision which already talks about the fake news, misinformation, etc., not being uploaded and for takedown of the same.
All right.
The problem with the addition is not with respect to fake news, and that is where we need to make the delineation.
All right, Shahid Siddiqui, just a final word. I'm out of time. Yes, you wanted to just add something.
I'm sorry,
briefly?
but the mode and manner in which it is to be taken down has to be with checks and balances.
Sure.
It can't be randomly given to a government agency which can then decide its own processes. That's not how it can function.
Right. Shahid Siddiqui, final word?
No, I don't think a law is required for this, because even a parliament, there can be no checks and balances on this, because what body is going to look into what is fake news and what is not fake news, what is genuine criticism or what is termed as fake news by the
right. I think you're just
agency.
explaining that this is coming under this guise of rules. And
so the government should get into a discussion with the different media groups and bodies, and then see how we can control fake news. This is not the way to control.
Right, that's what the Editors Guild, in fact, has written in their letter, that they would like if there were more consultations with media bodies, etc., all interested parties, and then come to a decision or discuss more how to deal with this fake news. I'm out of time, but thank you so much both for joining us.